Please help me. My name is Rachel. Someone came to attack me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's okay, we are on our way.
At 4 a.m., most people are still asleep. But on June 4, 2022, a quiet emergency call came in from Gilbert, Arizona, a call that would leave an entire community asking the same question. How could something like this happen, inside someone's home? The voice on the line belonged to 19-year-old Rachel Hansen. She had just woken up to a nightmare, and the person responsible was already gone. This is not a story filled with loud alarms or dramatic chases. It is a story about silence. About the vulnerability of being asleep in what you believe is a safe place. And about a case that raised serious questions about security, timing, and accountability. Before we continue, I want you to think about this. Do you feel completely safe in your own home? Let me know in the comments as we go. June 3, 2022, had been an ordinary Friday for Rachel. She lived alone in her apartment in Gilbert, a town often described as quiet, suburban, and family-oriented. There were no reports of disturbances that evening. No arguments. No signs of trouble. Rachel locked her door, followed her normal routine, and went to bed, unaware that sometime during the early morning hours, someone would enter her apartment without her knowledge. There was no warning. Just after 4 a.m., emergency dispatch received Rachel's call. She told the operator that while she was asleep, an unknown individual had entered her apartment and injured her before fleeing the scene. Her voice was weak but clear. She knew something was very wrong. First responders were immediately sent to the location. Rachel was transported to the hospital, where she received urgent care. She survived, but the questions were only beginning. Investigators quickly focused on the most unsettling detail of the case. There were no obvious signs of forced entry. No broken door. No shattered window. That raised critical questions. Was the door unlocked? No sound loud enough to wake her before it happened. News of the incident spread quickly. Gilbert residents were shaken, not just by what happened, but by where it happened. An apartment. At night. While the victim was asleep. People began double-checking locks. Apartment residents asked management about security measures. Parents worried about their children living alone for the first time. Because if it could happen here, it could happen anywhere. Authorities continued to piece together information. They examined entry points, digital evidence, possible connections, patterns from similar cases. But investigations like this are rarely fast. They require patience, precision, and cooperation from the public. What made this case especially difficult was the lack of clear witnesses and the narrow window of time during which the incident occurred. Silence became the biggest obstacle. This is not just a story about one night in June. It's about safety. About awareness. About how quickly life can change, even when you do everything right. Rachel's case reminds us that personal security isn't just about fear, it's about preparation, communication, and community vigilance. And it raises an uncomfortable but necessary question. Are we doing enough to protect people where they should feel safest? As investigations continue and time passes, one thing remains clear. Someone knows something. If this story affected you, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think apartment security standards are enough? What steps do you take to feel safe at night? Leave a comment below. These conversations matter, because awareness saves lives.